Turning overseas now, anti-government protests in Iran are spreading throughout the country 10 days after they began. Human rights groups say at least 36 protesters have been killed. President Trump has threatened U.S. intervention if Iran's government continues its crackdown. Elizabeth Palmer has reported many times from Iran. She joins us now from London. Getting any report out of Iran is incredibly difficult. What do we know about these protests?
Well, we're able to talk to people in Iran, and of course we have smartphone videos of the protests that act as little windows into what's going on. Independent journalists, especially foreign ones, are being kept well away. We know the protests have erupted across Iran, mostly in the south and the west, and while they aren't huge compared to the massive uprisings we saw back in 2022 and 23, they are continuing, and they do appear to be growing. Some of them have been orderly marches, some of them violent. And for sure, the longer they go on, the greater the threat to the regime, which we can see is on the back foot. They're not sure how to react. On the one hand, trying to appease people with cash handouts to help with crazy inflation. On the other hand, ordering a crackdown on so-called rioters.
How vulnerable is the regime?
That's the big question. It's certainly weaker than I can remember it ever having been. There's no question Iranians are utterly disillusioned and fed up. The economy is in a shambles thanks to sanctions, but also to mismanagement. And the regime, of course, was humiliated by Israel and America's attacks last June. Online, you do see calls for America to strike again following President Trump's warning that the U.S. might intervene, although I should say there's no military movement to suggest anything like that is imminent. But the people I speak to, much as they dislike the regime, are terrified that if America did intervene and the regime then collapsed, there would be a bloodbath or even civil war. So very high stakes. Vlad?
So Liz, about those folks that you've been talking to, you've spent years covering Iran from inside the country. So what else are they telling you? This potential civil war that could come about if the U.S. tries any kind of military action is very, very disturbing.
Well, Iran is a country of factions and power centers, and they're fighting all the time. So it's held together by this repressive regime, but who knows what would happen if that regime let go. I can tell you that the discontent, it's hard to overstate it. Like friends in Tehran tell me that some days they turn on the taps, or every day for some hours they turn on the taps, no water. And of course, also endless power cuts. So huge anger.
Yeah. Important information there, as always, from Liz Palmer. Thank you very much, Liz.